गगनदार्विक गिरिधारी शिशि राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिष्मार भक्तिवेदांत वामन गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिष्मार भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिष्मार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव गोसाई महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु विष्णुपार शतर शत शिष्मार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु महाभागवत श्रील गोरक्षदास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु श्रील सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जाय। नित्यालप विष्णु वैष्णव सार्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की जाय। श्री रूपानु गौरिया गुरु वर्ग की जाय। श्री रूप सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ श्री जीव गोपाल भट्टदास रघुनाथ शारद गोसाई प्रभु की जाय। श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामानंदारी श्री गौर पार्षद वृंद की जाय। नाम चय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जाय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जाय। श्री क्षेत्र मंडल गौरमंडल व्रजमंडल मथुर वृंदावन धाम की जाय। सर्व अभिष्ट विराट गिरिराज महाराज की जाय। श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जाय। श्री यमुना देवी गंगा देवी की जाय। श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जाय। श्री भक्ति देवी की जाय। श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जाय। श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जाय। श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जाय। जय श्री श्रील रूप गोस्वामी पार की जय। जय श्रील रूप गोस्वामी पार की जय। जय श्रील रूप गोस्वामी समाधि मंदिर की जय। जय श्री 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 तदीय शुभ तिरुभाव तिथि महामहोत्सव की जय। Jai Shri, what is it? Goridas Pandit, right? Jai Shri Goridas Pandit ki jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Jai Shri Govinda Das ki jai, Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bo. Okay, we'll do Mangala Charan and then begin. Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Koriya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanaya Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udritya Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukhang Pradat Prabhungtang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodam Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radha Rasa Sudha Nidhim Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayang Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahavadanyaya Krishna prema pradayate Krishnaya Krishna chaitanya namne gauratishe namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Tvang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshai Kshiptashtakamaदितराङ्गमध्ये कृपामयि त्वां शरणं प्रपन्ना वृन्दे नमस्ते चरणारविन्दम् भज श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासरि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We only did one pranam mantra. Let me open up the other pranam mantra for Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī. What's up with my keyboard? Adadanastrinam dantair idang yache puna puna Shrimadrupa padam bhoja dhulisyam janma janmani. Clasping a straw between my teeth, I repeatedly begged to attain the dust of the lotus feet of Śrīmad Rūpa Gosvāmī, birth after birth. Rupeti nama vadabhorasane sadatvam Rupam cha sangsmaramana karuna swarupam Rupam namaskaru shira sadaya valokam Tasya dvitiya sutanung Raghunatha dasam. O tongue, always chant the name Rupa. O mind, remember Sri Rupa, the embodiment of compassion. O head, bow to Sri Rupa, whose glance distributes mercy. In the same way, chant, remember, and bow to Sri Rupa's non-different form, Sri Raghunath Das. Jai Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Pad Ki Jai. One second. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, dear devotees. I say Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Champak Mataji, Anadi Krishna Prabhu, Chattamai Mataji, Nanda Nandan Prabhu, and on YouTube and Facebook, I see Raseshwari Mataji, Rasapriya Didi, Ganga Mataji, Patita Pavani Didi, and I'm guessing Indira Mataji, who else? Krishna Mai Didi, and all other devotees, Dandavat Pranams. Sorry if I'm missing your name. I opened up Restream a bit late, but Dandavat Pranams. Yeah, so we're starting a bit late today because I forgot about I forgot to send out a Gaudiya Kirtan post, so I just did that after it was time to start already. I sent out the Rupa Goswami Shochak and 3 other songs to sing for today, with a new translation of Yankali Rupa Sharira Nadharata, which we just prepared for this upcoming edition of Gaudiya Giti Gucha. And I don't have our reading today. Today's going to have to actually be an extra short program because I need to do some things and help set up for the Rupa Goswami conference, which will be starting very soon. So, yeah, we'll have extra short program today, but then tomorrow we'll have another program and we can have more glorifications of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī. I didn't even get a chance to prepare our reading today. So let's see. I have Mādhurya-kadambinī. We're going to be reading from Śrīla Gurudev's Mādhurya-kadambinī. I think it's the second verse. let's see. I think it's the second verse he speaks about Rupa Goswami. It's not letting me click on that. Sorry, guys, I didn't get a chance to do this before. Uh, yes, this is it. Okay. So let me just copy this onto another document. Sorry, guys. I'm just copying this onto another document, and then we'll read this. Uh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Thank you for being very patient with me. Let's change the font to make it Balaram U and change the spacing. Okay. Okay, so special prayer to obtain divine blessings. This is Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's, uh, this is a second verse in his Mādhurya-kadambinī. Bhakti purvai shita tang tu rasang pashyed yadatadhi tang nomi satatang rupa nama priya janam hare. So the translation of that is, the most elevated saints, the Mahajans of former times, they also accepted the shelter of Bhakti Devi. Now, however, by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's most dear associate, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, people who have obtained real intelligence are directly perceiving bhakti in its form of bhakti ras. I offer my heartfelt obeisances unto Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī again and again. Okay. Oh, and Hare Krishna, Bilva Mangal Prabhu, and Shama Didi, and Ghanasham Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Okay, so now this is my Srila Gurudev's commentary on this verse, the Piyush Varshini Vritti. He says, the essential nature of the living entity is that of a servant of Krishna. However, since time without beginning, he has forgotten Bhagavan and has thus been swallowed up by the deluding potency, by Maya. Consequently, he has fallen into the cycle of birth and death and is burned by the three kinds of torment. Sometimes, as a result of his own deeds, he becomes a demigod in the heavenly kingdom or a ruler on earth. And sometimes he becomes a subject. Sometimes he is in the priestly class, he's a Vipra, and sometimes in the artisan class, a Shudra. Sometimes he is happy, and sometimes he is sad. Sometimes he takes birth in species of plants, sometimes as an aquatic, sometimes as a bird or beast, and sometimes in the demoniac Daitya or Danava races. He wanders throughout so many species in his search for happiness, yet nowhere does he find actual happiness. When the supremely compassionate Bhagavan observes his own dear living entity's wretched condition, his heart melts. He descends in the form of the timeless Vedic scriptures. He manifests in his various forms, his own personal avatars, and he has his own dear companions descend to the world as acharyas, as exemplary teachers. In this way, by giving instructions on bhakti, he bestows eternal happiness upon the forgetful, stray living entities and engages them in service. Indeed, only devotion to the Supreme Lord, Bhagavad Bhakti, can make the averse and unhappy living entities eternally fulfilled, because by this, they attain him. The Vedas, Shrutis, Smritis, Puranas, and so forth enunciate this perfect conclusion in unison. It is never possible for the living entity to secure his permanent auspiciousness through fruit of work, through karma, the pursuit of knowledge, through gyan, mysticism, yoga, penance, tapa, and other processes. Bhaktir evainam nayati, bhaktir evainam darshayati, bhakti vasha purusho, bhaktir eva bhuyasi. This is from the Mathar Shruti, quoted in the Madhva Bhashya, Sutra 3353. It is only bhakti, it is only devotion that brings the living entity close to Bhagavan. Bhakti alone enables the living entity to see Bhagavan face to face. That supreme person, Bhagavan, is actually controlled by bhakti. Bhakti is superior to all else. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasyaite katita hyartha prakashante mahatmana. This is the Shvetashvata Upanishad 623. All the confidential purports of the Vedas are fully revealed to that great soul who has the same transcendental devotion to his Gurudev as he has to Sri Bhagavan. Ananda Mayo Bhyasat. The word Anandamoy, replete with bliss, used in Vedic literature, must refer to the Supreme Spirit, for it is repeatedly used to describe him. Savai Pungsang Paro Dharmo Yato Bhaktir Adhokshaje. Srimad Bhagavatam 126. The topmost dharma of human life is devotion to the transcendent Bhagavan Sri Krishna. Bhagavan Brahma Kartsnena Tir Anvikshya Manishaya Tad Adhyavasyat Kutosto Ratir Atmanyato Bhavet. Srimad Bhagavatam 2234. How can there be any benefit for the living entities who, oblivious to the Lord, have fallen into the cycle of repeated birth and death and material existence? Preoccupied with this question, Sri Brahma, who knows the fundamental truths regarding the Lord, thought long to find a solution. With resolute attention, he scrutinized all the Vedas 3 times, and by his intelligence, he concluded that the topmost perfection of religion is that by which one can obtain exclusive love for Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the supersoul of all existence. Through scriptural statements such as these, the immutable, perfect conclusion is being thoroughly established. It is only by Bhagavad Bhakti that the living entity's distress completely ceases and he obtains actual happiness. This bhakti does not rely upon any practice, any kind of sadhan, such as fruit of work, karma, mysticism, yoga, and the pursuit of knowledge, gyan, to manifest. Doesn't rely on any other practice to manifest, nor does it ever rely upon place, time, or eligibility. Bhakti, akin to the all-powerful, self-manifesting Bhagavat Tattva, is a self-manifesting, all-powerful truth. This is affirmed because she, Bhakti, is none other than a special function of Bhagavan's internal potency, his Swarup Shakti. Hence, the exalted souls who know this secret have taken full, exclusive shelter of Bhakti and have propagated it. In truth, a Mahajan is exclusively one who has accepted the shelter of supremely pure devotion to Bhagavan. Among these exalted souls, Vaishnavacharyas such as Sri Narad, Sri Prahlad, the Pandavas, Sri Uddhav, Sri Shukadev Goswami, Sri Yamunacharya, Sri Nath Muni, Sri Goda Devi, Sri Ramanujacharya, and Sri Madhvacharya, they have all accepted exclusive shelter of bhakti. Through their personal behavior and precepts, they have proclaimed bhakti's greatness throughout the world. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, who is well versed in all scriptures and fully conversant with Ras, realized this esoteric mystery. By the term Mahajans in text 2 above, he is referring to the foremost bhaktas of previous times, like Sri Narad. However, before the advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it was not even known that Ras is the intrinsic nature, is the Sarup of Bhakti. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, the special object of the supremely compassionate Rasik Shekhar Sri Chaitanya Dev's mercy, composed sacred literatures like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjvala Nilamani, which established for the first time that ras is the intrinsic nature of bhakti. The most fortunate persons in the world are those who have obtained real intelligence from Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī and are the most fortunate persons in the world are those who have obtained the real intelligence from Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, are experiencing the ras swarup of bhakti, and are causing others to experience it as well. Only by the mercy of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī is it possible to directly realize that the intrinsic form of bhakti is ras. If we were to go on deliberating upon these words of our most worshipful Śrīla Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, then this book would become considerably more voluminous. Hence, it is sufficient to simply mention here that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Rasik Shekhar, Rajendra Nandan Sri Krishna himself. As Rasik Shekhar, as the topmost connoisseur of ras, his purpose was to taste the essence of Mahabhav Sarupini Srimati Radhika's sublime, radiantly pure Prem Ras. And as Parama Karuna, as the most compassionate, his purpose was to distribute the wealth of the path of spontaneous devotion, Rag Marg Bhakti, to the world. For these purposes, he accepted Sri Radha's mood and luster and descended in the form of Shachi Nandan Shri Gaur Hari. In the previous exceptional Kali Yuga, almost 1,000 cycles of the 4 yugas ago, Rajendra Nandan Shri Krishna descended as Shri Gauranga and bestowed this ras-laden bhakti, which is rarely attained even by personalities like Shri Brahma. Since that particular Kali Yuga, many avatars of Bhagavan and many Vaishnavacharyas have advented. But until the recent re-advent of Shri Gauranga, none of them offered ras-laden bhakti to the living entities of this world. Not to speak of bestowing such bhakti, they could not even give its true definition. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī is the dear companion of Shri Gaur Hari, he who is adorned with Shri Radha's mood and complexion. In the pastimes of Vraj, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī is Shri Rupa Manjari, chief among Srimati Radhika's intimate maidservants. Indeed, to propagate that bhakti of Vraj, which is laden with Unatujvala Rasa, the most elevated humors of transcendental amor, Shri Rupa Manjari has descended within Shri Gaur's pastimes in the form of Shri Rupa Gosvāmī. In his Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami has unveiled this secret. As Sri Bhagavan generated that the potency to create in the heart. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. As Sri Bhagavan generated the potency to create in the heart of Grandfather Brahma at the beginning of creation, and thus created this universe, so Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made his special potency flow in the heart of his own dear Sri Rupa, and through him propagated the topics of Sri Radha Krishna's transcendental playful pastimes in Vraj, topics that had been lost by the influence of time. In Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 19.117, it is stated, Shri Rupa Hridaye Prabhu Shakti Sancharila Sarva Tattva Nirupiya Praveen Korila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu infused the heart of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī with transcendental power, and thus made him fully expert and experienced in discerning all tattva. Also, Srila Narottam Das Thakur has written in his Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. When will Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, who has established within this world the mission to fulfill the innermost desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, personally give me shelter at his lotus feet? To again manifest Vraj Bhakti saturated with Unata Ujjvala Ras upon the earth is indeed the innermost heart's desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By composing fundamental bhakti literatures like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Ujjvala Nilamani, and by teaching them, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī has established the innermost heart's desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in every way. What has emerged from the heart of the poet Sri Madhava about the glories of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī is deeply moving. Maybe we can look at the translation I just made recently. One second. Let me just think it's here. Okay. Yeah, so far only the editor of the Baijanti Mala Mataji has seen this translation. Let me just get it here. Okay. So by Sri Madhava Das. Hayan Kali Rūpa Śrīla Nadharata Tan Vraja Prema Mahanidhi Kutarika Kona Kapata Ugharata. Had Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī not appeared in this age of Kali, who would have opened the doors to the great treasure house of Vraj Prem? Nirakhiraham sana panavidhayana kona pritak koripayata ko sab tyaji bhaji vrindavana ko sab grantha virachita. Who else could drink like a swan, separating milk from water? Who could have abandoned everything to perform bhajan in Vrindavan? Who could have written such scriptures? And we made a footnote for this. Who else could drink like a swan, separating milk from water? So there's a footnote. It says, Srila Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja would explain that just as a swan can extract milk from a mixture of milk and water, similarly, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī discerns the difference between pure bhakti and mixed forms of bhakti, such as Arop Siddha Bhakti, Sangha Siddha, Karma Mishra, Gyan Mishra, and Yoga Mishra Bhakti. He also differentiated Vaidhi Bhakti from Raganuga Bhakti. He revealed all this in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Japito vana phula phalata nana vida manoraji aravinda oso madhukar vino pan kon janata Vidyaman Pari Bandha. He was a honeybee amid varieties of blossoming yellow forest flowers and mind-enchanting lotuses. Without that honeybee, who could have known the art of drinking the nectar present yet confined within those flowers? Ko ko janata Mathura Vrindavana. को जानता व्रजनीता को जानता राधा माधवरती को जानता सोई प्रीता. Who could have understood the glories of Mathura and Vrindavan? Who could have fathomed the intricacies of Vraj? Who could have understood the rati between Sri Radha and Madhav? Who could have known that love? Jakara charane prasare sakala jana gai gawai sukha pato charana kamaleshara nagatamado tava mahima uralagata. By the mercy of his lotus feet, all souls may sing and inspire others to sing of Sri Radha Madhav's love, thereby attaining true joy. O Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, this Madho Das, having surrendered at your lotus feet, prays that your glories touch his heart. Jai. Okay, so then after this song, Srila Gurudev continues. He says, in times prior to Srila Rūpa Gosvāmī, the symptoms of bhakti were delineated in Shandilya Sutra as Paranuruktir Ishvare. The symptom of bhakti is described as deep loving attachment to Parameshwar. In the Pancharatra, it is said, Sarvapari vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmilam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti ruchate. It's quoted in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, the 12th verse from the beginning. Absolutely pure service to the master of the senses, Rishikesh, performed through all one's senses solely for his delight and completely devoid of all external designations, is called bhakti. There's also a description elsewhere in scripture in Srimad Bhagavatam 3:29-12. It says, Ahaitukya avyavahita ya bhakti purushottame. This means that the symptom of nirgun bhakti is that the mind flows towards the absolute supreme being at every moment, like an unbroken stream of oil. However, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī has presented an incomparable definition of bhakti that not only includes all the above-mentioned symptoms, but is replete with further special characteristics. His definition is profoundly wonderful and beautiful. One second, just... Okay. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmatyanavrtam anukulena krishnano shilanam bhaktiruttama. So this is the 11th verse from the beginning of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. The meaning is that perpetual endeavor for the sake of Sri Krishna that is free from all kinds of desires other than the desire to serve him, that is not eclipsed by the pursuit of monistic knowledge, fruit of work, and so on, that is performed exclusively out of loving affection for him, through all physical, mental, or verbal endeavors, and through all emotions, flowing without interruption like an unbroken stream of oil, is called Uttama Bhakti. Each and every stage of bhakti is included within this definition of Uttama Bhakti, beginning from Shraddha, the first step in bhakti, through Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Rati, or Bhav, and beyond this to Prem, Sneha, Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, Rudha Bhav, Adhirudha Bhav, Mohan, and up to Madanakya Mahabhav. Additionally, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī presented with great skill, charming poetry, and subtle analysis the devotional proclivity of the heart, beginning with the preliminary steps of bhakti, from Shraddha to Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, and then Bhav, and the evolutionary sequence of that proclivity through the various transformations of Prem, from Sneha to Man, Pranay, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, and so on. He delineated Sthāyi Bhav, the permanent emotion, and gave a beautiful portrayal of this completely miraculous and supremely relishable state of Bhakti Ras, which is attained when the Sthāyi Bhav combines with the ingredients of Ras, such as Vibhav, that's what stimulates Rati, one's inherent relationship with Krishna, Anubhav, visible actions that illustrates the spiritual emotions situated within the heart, Sattvic Bhav, 8 symptoms of spiritual ecstasy arising exclusively from Vishuddha Sattva, and Vyabhichari Bhav, the internal transitory emotions which arise like waves from the ocean of the Sthāyi Bhav, enhance it, and then plunge once again into that Sthāyi Bhav. A beautiful glimpse of all this can be found in his celebrated composition, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Being empowered by Sriman Mahaprabhu's mercy, Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī also proved that the spotless and exceedingly purifying Gaudiya Vaishnava method of bhajan is established on a very strong, ras-laden foundation. His composition has, on its own merit, become unfadingly immortalized in the history of bhakti literature. It is considered the encyclopedia of all conclusive truths regarding bhakti ras, and is revered as the finest, fully ripened fruit of the wish-fulfilling tree of Gaudiya Ras literature. The acharyas prior to him were unable to so comprehensively analyze bhakti ras tattva, and certainly could not establish bhakti as a ras sarup, as the very nature of transcendental loving mellows. In the kalpa, in the day and night of Brahma that had elapsed since the last advent of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, accounts of Sri Radhakrishna's loving pastimes had all but vanished. At the time of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's manifest presence, by his inspiration and mercy, the potency of mercy flowed through Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, by which he recovered those revelations and again established them within this world, thus fulfilling the deep desire of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now this is a verse from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila 19.1. Vrindavaniyam rasake livartam kalena luptam nijashaktim utka sancharya rupe vyatanot punasa prabhur vidau prag iva lokasrishtim. The translation is, at the beginning of creation, by making his own potency flow through the heart of Brahma, Sri Bhagavan created and expanded the worlds. In the same way, by eagerly making his own potency flow through the heart of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again expounded and spread throughout the world the playful, ras-laden topics of Braj, which had been forgotten over time. The purport is that in one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantars, reigns of Manu. Sri Krishna appears in the 7th Manvantar at the end of the Dwapara Yuga, in the 28th Chatur Yuga, the cycle of 4 ages, and enacts his pastimes in Vraj. And about 5,000 years after that, in Kali Yuga, he accepts the mood and luster of Sri Radha and appears in the form of Shachinandan Sri Gaur Hari. He appears in the form of Shachinandan Gaur Hari, tasting the sweetness of Sri Radha's prem and propagating Vraj Prem. Vraj Prem was last disseminated in the Kalpa prior to this, at the time of Sri Gaura's Leela. For 1 day and night of Swayambhu Brahma, or almost 8,000 yugas, 8,000 ages, this Vraj Prem vanished. Because apart from Sri Gaurangadev, there is no avatar of Bhagavan or Acharya who could propagate the highly esoteric and secret prem of Vraj. Throughout the very long period during which these esoteric discourses on the playful rasa Vraj remained forgotten, Sri Chaitanya Dev's eagerness to propagate them intensified to the utmost limit. That is why he channeled his potency through the heart of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī. Shri Rupa Hridaye Prabhu Shakti Sancharila Sarva Tatta Nirupiya Praveen Korila. That's from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Oh, it doesn't say which part. Madhya Lila. What? No, I think it's Madhya Lila. Yeah, it's Madhya Lila. This is the Rupa Shiksha. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu infused the heart of Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī with transcendental power and thus made him fully expert and experienced in discerning all tattva. The author, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, concludes by explaining that the ras sarup of bhakti can only be experienced by Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī's mercy, and that without his mercy, there is no possibility of entering bhakti. This is the highest truth. Jai Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Pad Ki Jai. Hari Bol. So that is our reading for today. Tomorrow we will read more about Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī. I was hoping to also read about Gauridas Pandit and Govinda Das, whose disappearance day is today, but I don't think we have time for that now. Yeah. Oh, Nari Hari Prabhu, you mentioned that you'd like to offer a little Puspanjali to Rupa Goswami. Not hearing back from him right now. Can you hear me, Nari Hari Prabhu? Huh. His mic's not turning on. Maybe we. Are you there, Prabhu? I guess not. I guess then. Oh,
right here. But what I was trying to say to you was that due to my being so ill, I have maybe I can do a very little story about Rupa Goswami because we all know so much, and after this reading, of course, everything is put in the proper perspective and Siddhanta and Tattva.
I can't hear them. Can they hear you?
Yes, can you hear me now, Prabhu?
Yeah.
Okay, try. So, Om Agyanati Mirandasya Gyanantana Salakaya Chakshurumilitanjena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyabhari Paschachade Satarini. Dandavat Pranams. First of all, I'd like to offer my innumerable sastan Dandavat Pranams to my Gurudev, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and Pushpanjali at his lotus feet, equally to my Shiksha Gurudev, Bhaktivedanta, Śrīla Bhaktivedanta Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja, and offer innumerable sastan and Koti Koti Dandavat Pranams at his lotus feet and Pushpanjali. also to all my other Shiksha Gurudevs. I want to briefly talk, I mean, since there's so much and so many devotees, I didn't want to be the first or like that. But here it is. Yes, I will speak louder. As you all know, I've been anyhow dealing with the illness on my body. Nama Shrishtam Manumati Satiputram Matra Sarupam Rupam Tasyagrajam Urupurim Maturim Goshtavatim Dada Kundam Giri Varamaho Radhika Maravasam Prapto Yasya Pratita Kripaya Sri Gurum Tannatosmi Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rūpa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Adadanas Pinadantar Idam Jate Puna Puna Sima Rupa Padamboja Duli Swam Janma Janmani. So innumerable Koti Koti Danda pranams to Sri Rupa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. And without him, we wouldn't be knowing anything about the desires, the intimate desires, the desires in the hearts of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As we all know, he came to, he made a garland of the Nam, Harinam, and steeped it in Prem and garlanded the entire world. I just want to say just a little story about Rupa Gosvāmī. Everybody knows Tattva and Siddhanta and so much more than I can express. My godbrother, senior godbrother, Nārāyaṇa Swami, he had gone to Vrindavan Research Institute and had found the letters written by Rupa Gosvāmī to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his response. As we all know, Rupa Gosvāmī, before in his previous life, he was such an important man, and to the standards of nowadays, he would be considered a billionaire. He was so erudite and very practical man, one of the ministers of the Shah, who was one of the wealthiest men, or the wealthiest man in India. The time of that he arrives in Vrindavan, Emperor Akbar was commanding, all from west to east, the great empire, and but he had heard of the glories of Rupa and Sanatan, and so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent them with a mission, as we all know, to uncover the sites and actually the deities that were established by Bhadranabha, the grandson of Sri Krishna. While he was in Vrindavan, actually, he brought enough money to also purchase 500 cows. And Lord Chaitanya said, many will come after hearing, many will come of his glories and, what they're doing. Many sadhus will come, and you have to take care of them. So as a practical man, very wise too, he purchased 500 cows and engaged, of course, the population at that time. Emperor Akbar gave actually a mandate by which all the land of Braja was actually owned by him, of course, being the emperor, and he gave all that land to for Rupa Gosvāmī to graze the cows, pasture the cows, the 500 cows. So to make a story short, one day Rupa Gosvāmī is missing so much, in such separation from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's under the tree, and this Gopa comes and he says, one of the cows is actually pouring all her milk onto this hill, and I think you should come and see this. And so by divine inspiration, of course, he realized that actually Krishna actually is there. Govindaji was to be discovered. And actually it is there in the Research Institute that it was 5 levels, meaning 5 stories down below the surface. So they all excavated, he engaged all the population, and finally they got Govindaji out to such in the light of everyone, including Rupa Gosvāmī. Now, for the next, so he worshipped Govindaji in a very natural way, actually, with all the ingredients that were available in the forest, all the most beautiful flowers and vines, and also crowns of tulsi were carved, and all the decorations were done very simple, like, the things from the forest. For 2 years, he actually spent very occupied in the worship of Govindaji. So he wrote a letter to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu excusing himself, saying that for 2 years he has yet to continue his search and discovery of all these important places in Vrindavan. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu responded that he would send a pujari. He needed the help of a pujari. And who other than Kashishwar, Mahaprabhu actually ordered Kashishwar, who fainted hearing that he had to leave Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's company. He was so powerful, Kashishwar, he would part the crowds in order for Lord Chaitanya to walk, and nobody will crowd him or touch him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, don't worry, hold on a second, I'll be right back. So he went to the temple of the Lord in Jagannath Puri and brought back with him this deity of Gaur Govinda. And now in these days, this deity was actually brought as Govindaji was brought to Jaipur. So in those days, then Kashishwar departed having this deity and establishing the worship of Sri Govindaji, Sri Radha Govinda in Vrindavan. Then there are so many stories and like that. I just wanted to take this little chance, because after a great time of opulent worship was established, all the rajas of Rajasthan and Man Singh, actually, the emperor, he was a Raja, and he was one of the Navaratnas, or 9 jewels of the crown of Akbar. He was the best general he had. And so one time there was a rebellion in the east, and he was sent to quench it. So he went to the deity of Govindaji. By then there was a temple actually established, a stone temple established. And there's another story, but that temple got destroyed actually in modern times. But anyhow, he went to the deity and promised that he would build a bigger temple, as we know now, Govindaji. And it was 5 stories, and now we got, it was probably 7 stories, and now we got what's left. But it was quite a center of beauty, architectural wonder, and all the best poets, singers, they will come in the balconies and recite and do. So it was quite a busy place. And so at the beginning, Rupa Gosvāmī wasn't very keen to have it established there because there was so many kalpavriksha trees and like that. But later on, he agreed to it. But he never saw the finishing of his temple. It was all Jiva Goswami who did. So anyhow, it was just little stories that I thought, I could put in that temple. Actually, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, as you know, he recited Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. And so Man Singh was very successful in his military campaign, so he came back and established the temple, began the temple. Jai Prabhus, I don't want to take much of your time. And there's so many other God brothers and God sisters probably want to say.
I just want to thank Prabhu for giving us a really personal touch so that we can develop our relationship with Rupa Goswami more deeply. Thank you, Prabhu.
Jai. Haribo Mandana Pranam. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Wow, that was amazing. This is all new stuff for me. So yeah, wow, it's thank you so much. And yeah, you also ended just on time. It's now 8 o'clock. So this is perfect timing. And yeah, that was really fascinating. So that will be our program for today. Very soon, I think in less than an hour from now, they're going to start the Rupa Gosvāmī conference, which happens every year. And so if you go to, I think if you type in Rupa Gosvāmī conference in Facebook, I think you'll see a Rupa Gosvāmī conference page. And if you go there, then all the live videos of everyone's glorifications will be posted there. And also they're going to post, that's going to be the live thing. And then afterwards, they'll post recordings of all the classes on YouTube. So if anybody would like to join that, this will be a 3-day program. I think I'm supposed to sing in it right now, like soon, and I need to help set up. So that's why I'm taking off a bit early now. But I'll see you all again tomorrow for, I don't know what we should read tomorrow, but you can let me, if you have any suggestions, you can let me know. And yeah, this is a short Mahamantra, and then we'll end for today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Rupa Gosvāmī, Prabhu Rupa Gosvāmī, Rupa Gosvāmī, Jai Rupa Gosvāmī, Jaya Rupa Raghunath, Rupa Raghunath, Rupa Raghunath, Jai Rupa Raghunath, Jai Swapashara Gora Hari, Sapashara, Jai Gora Hari, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jai Prabhupada, Jai Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Jai Guru Deva. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Oh, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Shri Satchidananda Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shri Radha Govinda Dev Ki Jai. Jai Śrīla Gurudev ki jai, Jai Śrīla Param Gurudev ki jai, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai, Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu ki jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan ki jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj ki jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi ki jai. Jai Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. The topmost Rupanuga Śrīla Raghunath Das Gosvāmī Mahārāja ki jai. Śrīla Rūpa Gosvāmī's Tirobhav Titi ki jai. Yeah, the Viraha Mahotsav ki jai. Jai, all the devotees participating in this festival all throughout the world ki jai. Jai Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Jai Srila Goridas Pandit ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Jai Shri Govinda Das ki jai. Tadiya Shubha Tirubhav Titi ki jai. Shri Swaparsha Ji Gaur Hari ki jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Gaur. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavatai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyashcha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatharani Mataji, Sarveshwari Mataji, Champak Mataji, Anari Krishna Prabhu, Chatamai Mataji, Nanda Nandan Prabhu, I already said Sarveshwari Mataji, right? Yeah. And then on YouTube and Facebook, I see Raseshwari Mataji, Rasapriya Didi, Ganga Mataji, Patita Pavani Didi, Bilva Mangal Prabhu, Shama Didi, Ghanasham Prabhu, Vidyalalasa Didi, Amit Dandikar, and Indira Mataji, I'm guessing, and all devotees watching in the future, like Shachi Devi, Jayadev Prabhu, Revati Didi, Manjari Didi, Krishna Rose, and everybody else. Dandavat pranams. Maybe Shripad Bhaktivedanta Sajjan Maharaj is there. I don't know. Haribo. And see you all tomorrow for more glorifications and we'll do a lot more for Rupa Gosvāmī tomorrow. And then, I think in 3 days from now is Baladev Purnima. So it is festival season right now. So, all right. Dandavat pranams.
Prabhuji, one tiny thing. And I just read yesterday from Srila Gurudev Nārāyaṇa Gosvāmī Mahārāja. He said, we want to call ourselves Rupanugas. He said, but if we never read Vilapa Kusumanjali by Raghunath Das, or the books of Sri Rūpa Gosvāmī Pad, how can we call ourselves and attain Raga Marga? Impossible. We have to go through. So in a song by my spiritual master, my Gurudev's, he says that first is through the spiritual master, then the 6 Goswamis, then Nityananda Prabhu. He'll take us to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and him to Radha Krishna. So, but how are we going to go through the Goswamis without reading what they spend so much time? And so, my Guru Maharaj would say, we are Rupanugas. So now, reading this little thing by my Shiksha Gurudev inspired me to have to say this, that we can do all the Vaidhi Bhakti that we want, sweep the floor at the temple, etc., etc. But that's not going to get us to Raganuga Bhakti. It's through reading the Unatochvala Nilamani, Ujjvala Nilamani, and so on, like that. Jai, Haribol.
Yeah. You said Vilap Kusmanjali, right? Raghunath. Yes. Vilap Kusmanjali. Jai. And that book right now, that's like one of the main GVP projects.
Nice.
And they're going through Shamarani Mataji, Vaijanti Mala Mataji, and a bunch of other devotees. They've been going through it over and over and over and over again. Gurudev's classes to the ISKCON Gurus, the GBC, like that. Gurudev's Puspanjali classes, and so many devotees are going through it and like very carefully analyzing, like making sure that it's very authentic, like exactly what Gurudev was saying, and my friend Chandrasekhar, he's making a translation for all the Sanskrit verses now. And yeah, that's one of the main GVP projects at the moment. And I don't know when it will be ready, like released, but I think soon.
Wow, that's most wonderful
maybe
news.
a bit after Kartik, but so we'll have a really good quality version of that.
As you said, I mean, Raghunath Das is the foremost Rupanuga. So
Yes.
to have his book is invaluable. That's wonderful news. Thank you.
Gurudev would always say to like he'd often say, right, that Śrīla Raghunath Das Gosvāmī is the ultimate role model for us, right? Like because he is the topmost Rupanuga, and that's our only aspiration is to follow in this line, become a Rupanuga. So he is our ultimate shelter, Śrīla Raghunath Das Gosvāmī. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhu, for allowing me to say something.
Oh, thank you for sharing. That was very beautiful, wonderful, Puspanjali. Right. Hare Krishna. So see you all